Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Miss.
Good morning, everyone. Can you unmute your audio and respond to my greeting?
Good morning.
And please turn on your video for you who haven't turned it on. Come on, I want to see your face. I think today will be our last meeting for having the theoretical English class, because next week I will only give you assignment for understanding the material more and also for preparing your final test. Yeah, our last meeting with me as your English teacher. I was still your homeroom teacher until the end of this academic year. Salman, Radit, Aisyah, Sofia, Tunaro, Fikri, ayo nyalain kameranya. Maaf ya, pagi-pagi banyak tukang dagang lewat di rumah. How are you everyone? As you know, ada can you find one emoticons in the reactions feature to represent your feeling today? Please pick one. What's wrong, Bahira? Nisa? Something makes you happy today?
Lebih ke lucu sih, Miss.
Why? What makes it funny?
Aku kira tuh kemarin tuh hari Jumat, terus sekarang hari Sabtu. Ternyata aku balik.
Didn't you have any activity yesterday?
No, Miss.
I see. Saya sebenarnya kepikiran pengen majuin kelasnya, but I want to stay in the schedule. Rangga, are you okay, Rangga?
Oke, Miss, tapi nggak ngerasain apa-apa.
Oke, no, nothing. You feel nothing. Merasa hampa ya, enggak ya?
Iya, Miss.
Wait, ini okay. As you know in the announcements that today we are going to discuss the material of first analytic exposition, and the second is cause-effect relationship, which will be our last material. Actually, I changed my plan. In the beginning, I will only deliver the cause-effect relationship, but the analytical will be given by your LB teachers. But after we saw the activity at LB, which the presentations will be done in detail, and the teachers didn't have much time to explain the material of analytical expositions in detail, so I decided to change my plan. Saya kasih bekal dikit tentang analytical exposition text, and then next at LB your teachers will review it, and I believe that you could be more ready, okay, to finish the project at LB. Okay, that's the case. And I have admitted some students who haven't done the pre-test. Please do it. If you don't do it, I will count that you didn't attend the meeting today, although you joined my Zoom meeting. Okay, from the quiz that you did, how was it? Was it hard?
I don't think so.
Emang ya, 10 soal kebanyakan salahnya 23 ya. Some of you did it twice. Ada yang baru ngerjain sekali and got 100, so it was good. I believe that it means you already understood the material. Let me share my screen. Can you see it? Has it appeared on your screen or not?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, okay. Before I start to explain this, I have asked you to find any materials about it, right? I have a challenge for you. is there any volunteer who wants to help me explain what analytical exposition is to your friends here? Or not helping me, but tell me what you found about analytical exposition. There will be a reward for you, bonus point for your midterm test score. Come on. Of course, don't explain it by reading my note or other sources. Use your own words to explain what it is. Come on, volunteer. Volunteer, please. Gak ada nih yang mau nyoba. Bonus point for your midterm test score.
Ada nih.
Yes, mention your name first, although I have known your name.
My name is Muhammad Iqbal Hidayatullah. From absen.
Only mention your name, Iqbal. It's okay. Muhammad Iqbal.
The analytical exposition text is the text which has a function, to respond the phenomenon or happen in the phenomenon that happen in surrounding us, and it consists with argument from someone,
from the writer, right?
Yes. And then and also the analytical exposition text is consists with bukti.
Proof.
Yeah, proof. With consists proof. I think it's enough.
Okay, thank you so much, Iqbal. Okay, anyone wants to add? Anybody wants to add? Okay, it is to use to tell about the phenomenon surrounding us, and then the writer stated arguments in the text. Okay, and there is proof to strengthen the argument, like that, right, Iqbal?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, anybody wants to add? Come on, guys. Biar ketahuan kamu udah baca. Nobody wants to try? Okay, then. Okay, I do agree with what Iqbal mentioned, that the analytical exposition text is used for what, discussing the phenomenon or issue happening around us. And in the text, the writer writes arguments, okay, to support the opinion. My question is, can you tell me the example of the issue or phenomenon happening around us that can be used to make analytical exposition text? What is it about? Kira-kira tentang apa? Come on, just look around you, what the issue around you that is happening right now. Yang masih panas tentang apa? Panas. Isu up to date tentang apa kira-kira? Hey, come on guys, I'm waiting.
Economic, Miss.
Economic, ya. Can you be specific? What is it about?
Minyak goreng.
Yeah, about the fried oil. Good. Tentang fenomena ibu-ibu banyak yang ngantri ya untuk nyari minyak goreng murah. Good. What else?
Tempe dan tahu langka.
Ah, tempe dan tahu langka, right? What else?
PTM, Miss.
PTM, aha, yang selalu ditunda terus ya. Good.
Yes.
Apa lagi?
Perang Dunia Ketiga.
Perang Dunia Ketiga, okay. Yes, it can be also used as a topic of analytical exposition text, right? Okay. Yeah, it can be something up to date or can be something that the writer thinks the issue needs to butuh untuk diapain namanya ya, diangkat, okay, need to discuss, okay. Not only it is the hot news, like when you want to write the news item, but it can be something that the writer thinks it is something important to be discussed. Okay, if you look at the definitions here, that analytical exposition text is argumentative text. And Iqbal, when explained about it, mentions about arguments in writing the analytical exposition text, right? My second question is, there is one word that is quite the same as argument. It is opinion. And my question, do the both words the same in meaning? Yes or no? Arguments and arguments. Sorry?
Pardon.
Sorry, Nisa?
Yet again.
Okay. My question is, argument and opinion is different words or not? Is different, has different meaning or not?
Yes, it is different.
It is different. How about others? Do you agree with Bahira's opinion?
Yes, Miss.
Yes. And my next question is, what is the difference between argument and also opinion?
In argument, you should use a fact to support your argument, but opinion is your point of view. Not you don't need to give a fact to support your opinion.
Right. Absolutely correct, Bahira. Yes, right. Opinion is just our personal point of view or someone's personal point of view. Actually, not only about fact for supporting the argument, but it should be in a form of data. It can be in a form of fact, but other things. Okay, other idea, other points. Argument can be an opinion, but opinion cannot be an argument. Because in making argument, we started with an opinion first. So it is why, okay, in the generic structure, number 1 of analytical exposition text, it is started with thesis. In this thesis, you start by stating your opinion first. Aku punya pendapat ini loh. Okay, you state your opinion, introducing the topic and indicating the writer's point of view, the personal point of view first, and then of course this is in the first paragraph, right? And in the second paragraphs and so on, tergantung argumennya berapa ya, you write your arguments to support your opinion. Jadi dituliskan pernyataan yang mendukung opininya, and of course it should be supported with data. Explaining the argument to support the writer's position. The number of arguments may vary, boleh banyak ya artinya ya, boleh various. But each argument must be supported by evidence and explanation. Harus didukung dengan evidence. Evidence-nya dalam bentuk apa? Okay, Bahira mention fact, but can you give me an example? Evidence-nya bentuk apa biasanya? Bisanya.
Theory maybe.
Theory, yeah, it's like someone's expert, like an expert who stated a theory, something like that, Bahira.
Not like penelitian.
A result of of an observation.
Yeah, maybe like something like that.
Can be in the form of journal. The statement that you found on journal. Okay. What else?
Data, Miss.
Data. What kind of data? Datanya dalam bentuk apa?
Survey like that.
Table, Miss.
Kamu lagi di mana? Ada suara kereta.
I'm at my home, Miss.
Oh, your home is close to. Oh, Kesha ya? Siapa ya ini?
Yes, Miss and Keisha.
Yeah, I remember when you did your LBS presentation. Ya apa tadi? Boleh diulang, Kesha?
Like, you do a survey and you can use the result to
Right,
prove
yeah.
your argument.
The result of a survey or questionnaire. Apalagi? Ayo, data yang bisa dipakai apa? Jangan complicated kalian mikirnya, just think simply. Kalau dalam sebuah investigasi, a police gitu biasanya pakai data apa sih for strengthen the what do you call it? The crime.
Foto, Miss.
Foto, good, in the form of picture. What else? Namanya foto berarti bisa apa? Video, or can it be from someone's statement? Interview, right? It can be from the interview too. Dan banyak lagi ya. So it's quite the same as the news item for the proof or evidence to support the argument. Itu, saya balik lagi ke sini ya. It is a text that elaborates the writer's idea about the phenomenon surrounding it. Elaborates itu menjelaskan secara gamblang ya. It means like explain, about the phenomenon surrounding us. You've given me example. And the social function is to persuade the readers that the idea is an important matter and to analyze the topic that the thesis or opinion is correct by developing an argument to support it. Dari social function ini, I have a question for you. In analytical exposition text, does the writer ask the readers of the text to agree to the writer's opinion or not?
Not.
No? Fauzana geleng-geleng. Yang lain gimana? No. Yes, the answer is no. In analytical exposition text, as you know that in the last direct structure, it's called conclusion. And conclusion, it means that the writer only conclude what the writer explained in the arguments without asking the readers to follow what the writer said in the text. The decision for the readers to follow the writer's opinion is free. Free to choose whether to agree or not. Because the point of analytical exposition is to tell that there is an idea which is important to discuss. Cuma sebatas itu aja. Ini loh penting untuk dibahas. But without asking the readers to agree to the writer's opinion. And in analytical exposition, you should be natural in positioning yourself. For example, if there is a topic about smoking, maybe there will be someone who agree it, and there will be someone who disagrees it. And you as the writer, although maybe you don't agree that someone smoke in a public place, you need to be natural. Harus netral memposisikan dirimu in a pros and also in a cons position. Dan in your arguments, you have to mention the data to support the pros and also cons. And in the conclusion, you like giving the freedom for the readers to choose whether to agree about smoking or not. Do you get it? Do you get it, guys?
Yes, Miss.
Paham ya? Jadi bukan menunjukkan aku setuju, aku mendukung orang nggak ngerokok di public places. It's not like that. If you make that text, it is called hortatory exposition text. Jadi ada temannya analytical exposition text ya, namanya hortatory exposition text. In hortatory exposition text, bedanya adalah it has the same generic structure for number 1 and 2, thesis and arguments. Kalau in hortatory, you don't end it with conclusion, but you end it with recommendation. Recommendation artinya apa? The writers of the text ask the readers to agree to the writer's opinion. Itu kalau hortatory. But for analytical, only to conclude. Paham ya? Okay, and in conclusion, when later you write your text, don't forget to use the words or expressions to conclude something. Yeah, I have given some example here. Actually, I got it from British course too, not my own note. I personally believe, for in conclusion, from the fact above, from the explanations I explained above, for example, like that. Okay, dipakai ya. Okay, and next is for the language features. I think for number 2, 3, 4, and 5 are optional. It means that you can use it and you may not use it, but mostly in writing analytical exposition text, you are going to use conjunctions. Yang pertama, nomor 2, it is really important because it is to make your argument systematically. Biar argumentsnya urut, ya. Of course, it is started with the second paragraph. You can use first, second, and so on. And then using causal conjunctions, which we are going to discuss after this. Gitu ya. And number 1 is a must language feature that you have to use. You should use simple present tense to write your text. It's a must. Wait, let me add for the thesis. Thesis tadi kan introducing the topic ya. Not only introducing the topic, you can also give your outline of your arguments. Jadi bukan hanya topiknya saja, tapi outline argumentsnya boleh ditulis dulu. Ya, oh kira-kira argumentsnya maunya ngasih 3. You may outline it in the first paragraph. And the explanations you give it in the second paragraph until the last paragraph of the arguments. Like that. And to work in analytical exposition text, you have to start it by doing an observation first. Jadi kamu observe dulu, kumpulin data. Yang pertama tentu saja topik ya. After you get your topic, observe, collect your data, and then you categorize the data that you collect. Setelah dikategorisasikan, you conclude it. Disimpulkan, oh data ini jadi satu argument. Data ini jadi satu argument. So when you write your text and you make your arguments, you have been ready with your data. Bukan argumen dulu dibikin, baru nyari datanya. No. Okay, you collect the data first, and then you make your argument after that. Paham ya? Got it? Understand?
Yes, Miss.
Understand or not? Okay. Analytical akan jadi satu materi di final test juga, walaupun nanti untuk nilai keterampilannya diambil di LB ya. Okay, because we have limited time, let me continue to the next material, which is cause-effect relationship. I will not explain that. I mean, I believe that you already understood what it is. Intinya ada hubungan sebab akibat, di mana ada akibat ketika ada sebab, gitu ya. And what we are going to discuss is the linking words. And there are 3 linking words. Ada 3 apa? Transition,
Preposition.
preposition, and conjunction. Right. There are 3 linking words: conjunction, transition, and preposition. And linking words is the same like apa ya? Ya kalimat untuk menghubungkan lah, bukan linking park ya, but linking words. Ada yang tahu linking park nggak? Jangan-jangan oh ya, okay. Not linking park, but linking words. We started with the conjunction first. Ada yang mau jelasin nggak? Sudah ada catatan di sini. Come on, volunteer. The same bonus point for your midterm test score. Come on, try it. Ada yang mau coba? Ayo guys. Lumayan nambah-nambah skor loh. Nobody?
I want to try, Miss.
Sure, please. Don't forget to mention your name first.
My name is Kesha.
Oke, kayak mas teman, Kesha.
Conjunction is a linking word that link the cause and the effect, which was the both of them is clause.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, what is clause? Clause itu apa, Kesha?
Clause is a sentences that contain subject and verb.
Okay, good. It's yeah, clause is a sentence, and sentence must contain subject and verb. Good. And as you know there, and the causative conjunctions that you can use are because, since, and as. Thank you so much, Kesha. If you the word since and as are familiar for you. Biasanya kamu ngertiin since dengan apa? Ditranslate jadi apa?
Sejak,
Sejak. Nah, kalau as?
Sama.
Seperti, sama ya, sebagai, okay. But here, since and as causative conjunction means karena. Okay, since dan as sebagai causative conjunction means karena. So how we can know the meaning of it, which is sejak atau whether sejak atau karena atau sama atau seperti sebagai untuk as ya. Of course by looking at the context of the text. Dengan melihat konteks teksnya. Tidak selalu since diartikan sejak, okay? Like this one in the second example, since Eka came late, her teacher didn't let her join the class. Ya, kan kalau kita artikan sejak ya, sejak Eka datang terlambat gitu. Berarti kan sejak saat itu Eka datang terlambat, setelah itu nggak boleh masuk kelas kan? Of course we cannot translate, understand the meaning like that. Okay, since here means karena. Okay, and actually there are still other causative conjunctions, but we only focus on these three conjunctions. And right, like what Kesha mentioned, that in conjunction, the cause and also the effect, should be written in a form of clause, which consists of subject and verb. Jadi clause itu adalah kalimat itu adalah kumpulan kata yang ada subject sama verbnya. Itu intinya seperti itu ya. Like this one, Nani didn't go to school. Nani as the subject, and then verbnya yang mana ini?
Didn't go to school.
Didn't go ya, to schoolnya sebagai pelengkapnya ya. And she was sexy as the subject and was as the verb. Verb dalam bentuk to be. And the conjunction, you put it before the clause, right? Okay, so wherever the cause goes, the conjunction follow. Dipindah ke depan, because-nya ikut. Sama ketika kamu bikin if clause ya. Okay, but if you put the effect in front of the sentence, don't forget to put a comma. Sama ketika if clause, kamu taruh if-nya di depan, kamu taruh koma kan? Kenapa seperti itu? Because if you call it is a compound sentence, dalam bahasa Indonesia disebut sebagai kalimat majemuk, ada main clause-nya, kalimat utamanya, dan ini adalah anak kalimatnya. Kalau anak kalimatnya ditaruh depan, you have to put a comma. Remember, I will be so strict in the punctuation, so remember this. It's the same, since Eka came late, ini sebabnya dulu, and then the result. As Eka came late, her teacher didn't let her join the class. Bisa dibalik? Of course, yes. Eka's teacher didn't let her join the class since Eka came late. For example, like that. Understand? Paham ya? Let's move on to translation now. Ada yang mau jelasin translation?
Radit, Miss.
Please, Radit.
Pakai bahasa Indonesia nggak apa-apa kan, Miss ya?
Try it in English first. Ayo coba
Okay,
dulu,
okay.
Dit.
Linking words itu kan can be used buat jadi transisi atau transition di
Mhm.
cause if. Jadi kalau misalnya ada dua kalimat, yaitu buat ngegabungin, join sentences together. Biasanya yang
Okay.
paling penting itu ada 3. Therefore, therefore, consequently, and as a result. Biasanya pola kalimatnya itu the first sentence is semicolon, transition, and the second sentence is, or the first sentence is period, transition, terus koma, koma, and second sentences.
Okay.
Dia menggabungkan dua kalimat lengkap.
Okay. Where do you put the cause? After the transition or before the transition?
After
The cause is after.
transition.
Nani was sick. She didn't go to school. Where is the cause? Nani was sick or she didn't go to school?
Nani.
Nani. So before or
Yeah.
after?
Oh, before.
Before. Yeah, you put the cause before the transition. Thank you so much, Radit. Yeah. So right, Radit, I agree. This a little bit different with conjunction. In conjunction, you can put the conjunction in front of the in the beginning of the sentence, but in transition, you cannot. You should put the cause first, okay? And then like what Radit mentioned, tanda bacanya bisa dikasih titik atau semicolon. You may put full stop or semicolon. Semicolon itu apa ya?
Titik koma.
Titik koma, ya. Kalau colon titik 2 kan ya. Kalau titik adalah full stop atau period. And then you put your transition and put comma and then the result. And it's the same like conjunction. The cause and the result must be in the form of apa ini? Clause, which should consist of subject and verb. It's the same for consequently and as a result. Sama pemakaiannya. Kalau diartikan bahasa Indonesia apa artinya?
Oleh karena itu.
Oleh karena itu, right? And it is the same like so. So saya jelasin dikit ya. I didn't write it here. And so it has the same function. Sama. But in using so, you can use the different format, the different punctuation. Okay, for example, Nani was sick, koma di sini setelah so atau titik sebelum so. Tapi kalau nulisnya kayak gini gimana, Miss? You may do it like that. Nani was sick, titik atau semicolon. So, koma, she didn't go to school. Boleh ditulis seperti itu. But you can also write it seperti biasa kalian tahu ya. Nani was sick, koma, so she didn't go to school. Jadi tanda bacanya cuma di depan saja. Understand?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, the last preposition. Any volunteer? Volunteer, I'm going to count from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the chance is over. Preposition, the last linking words, kasih back linking words, and the words that you can use are because of, due to, and thanks to. Ini kalau diartikan semua dalam bahasa Indonesia, the same like conjunction, artinya apa? Karena. Okay, what makes it different? Okay, posisinya sama ya, cause, preposition, and then result, preposition, and the cause. Atau preposition dulu, kemudian cause-nya, and then the result. But what makes it different, in the main clause itu kan result-nya ya, you write it with clause, yang terdiri dari subject and verb, but for the cause, okay, you use noun or non-phrase. Non-phrase bisa terbentuk dari apa? Adjective plus noun. Kalau tadi ada kata she was sick, you change it into her sickness. Karena sickness artinya sickness berubah menjadi kata benda. Tidak ada subjeknya kan ya, tidak ada verbnya. Like that. And it's the same, you may put it in the beginning of the sentence, because of her sickness, Nani didn't go to school. Due to her sickness, Nani didn't go to school. But, okay, if you watch the video, you find the explanations that you cannot use thanks to for the sentence. You cannot say, Nani didn't go to school thanks to her sickness. Kenapa nggak boleh seperti itu?
It only used to a positive sentence, Miss.
Yeah, thanks to is used for something positive. To is like you state you're grateful for something. You express you're grateful for something. Kamu bersyukur untuk sesuatu. Ya, kan nggak mungkin Nani nggak pergi ke sekolah berterima kasih atas sakitnya. Ada nggak orang berterima kasih atas rasa sakit nggak masuk sekolah ya? Of course it's impossible. Kecuali ada ujian ya. Ujian susah biar bisa susulan. Biar dapat bocoran. Enggak, kalian mah nggak kayak gitu kan ya? Okay. So it is why I use the different example for thanks to. Nani won the competition thanks to her hard practice. Ya, tapi kalau diartikan, of course bukan berartikannya berterima kasih ya. Nani memenangkan pertandingan karena latihannya yang keras. It's the same you translate it into karena. Okay. I feel happy thanks to him, for example. Yeah, I feel happy thanks to her. For example, like that. Ya, berterima kasih untuk sesuatu. But of course, after that, you have to use noun or noun phrase. That's all, I think. Is everything clear?
Miss, I want to ask something, Miss.
Sure. What is your question?
I want to ask about the preposition.
Mm-hmm.
If we use thanks to, are we don't need to put comma before thanks to?
No. No need. No need, Bahira. It's the same like when you it's the same like in conjunction. But it will be different if you put it in the beginning of the sentence. Of course, you put comma, but I think it is rarely to put thanks to in the beginning of the sentence. Biasanya jarang ditaruh di depan ya. Tadi kan contohnya Nani won the competition thanks to her hard practice. Jarang banget diucapkan thanks to her hard practice, comma, Nani won the competition. It's rarely right like that. Okay. Is it answering your question?
Yes, Miss. I want to ask something again.
Sure.
Is it berlaku di semuanya if we use
Because of
the linking word like in the beginning, is maksudnya kayak kalau kita nulis because, therefore di awal itu harus pakai koma semuanya.
Yeah, like I saw. Wait. Like I saw you in my note. It's the same like what I wrote here. Okay, in conjunction, if you put because di awal, koma, since koma, dan untuk semua conjunction, cause effect conjunction sama. And I think for other conjunctions too, not only cause effect. Yeah, it's the same. Kalau transition juga sama. You use this punctuation atau tadi bisa pakai semicolon ya, semicolon, sorry. Kecuali untuk kata so. Dan it's the same for preposition. Seperti ini juga. Alright, Bahira?
Yes, Miss. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Ayo, videonya pada mati semua nih. Ayo nyalain lagi. Bobok nanti kalian adem-adem ya. Ada pertanyaan lagi? Now, is everything clear? Can you give your reactions if it's clear? Don't stay silent or don't be silent. Okay. Okay, then. I think that's all for today. It's already 9 o'clock. After this, you will have the religion lesson, right? Next week, I will not have any meeting, but I will only give the assignments, like what I said, or exercise to deepen your understanding about this material and also for preparing your final test. Maybe I will upload it this afternoon or tomorrow. Silahkan bebas dikerjakan, but the deadline is on next Friday in the afternoon. Yeah. And the assignment maybe it's not only one, but more than one. Karena ada 2 materi ya, maybe like 2 or 3, but don't worry, it will be not much. Gak akan seperti disuruh nulis teks, no. So I think that's all for today. Hopefully everything is clear. Kalau masih butuh bantuan, you may contact me. recordingnya akan saya upload nanti, jadi bisa kalian pelajari lagi if you need it. That's all. Do you have anything to say?
Nope.
No? Okay then. Thank you so much everyone for joining and participating, and I'm sorry if during our interactions with me as your English teacher, there is something that you don't like, or yeah, that you don't like. And see you when I see you. Bye-bye. Bye and have a nice weekend,
Miss.
everyone.
Thank you,
Bye.
Miss.
Have a nice day.
Soal UASnya jangan susah-susah, Miss.
Okay. I'll try.
Goodbye, Miss. Thank you.
Bye-bye, Nisa.
Thank you, Miss. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Kesya. Bye, Rido. Rido, kamu ada nggak?